That was like 30 minutes ago she commented something. Should have had this position ready already, but it is what it is. That was like 30 minutes ago she commented something. Should have had this position ready already, but it is what it is. That was like 30 minutes ago she commented something. Should have had this position ready already, but it is what it is. Mic check. I can barely hear it on my thing. My phone's, well, this phone sucks.
Saying two watching.
Can you hear it? My phone's, well, this phone sucks.
Yeah, you're on.
No, can you hear it? Like there's no interference or nothing. There's no interference or anything. Does it sound clear? Alright. I don't know what that shit was. What else? This thing is different from the... Hold up. This is what happens when you don't prepare. No, I'm talking to myself.
Pick the hottest day to do, or hottest time of the day to do this. Do you want me to leave this for a minute, or you got yours? WooL talk.
WooL talk. We talk about everything but WooL while we pick WooL and do WooL things. Woolly things. Alright, what's it? What's the one, right?
At the hottest time of day. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not even like yesterday.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be cold today.
Cold?
Compared to 100, yeah, it's supposed to be 88.
I don't think we're gonna get any more cold days anytime soon.
No, it's gonna be 80 on Thursday.
It's like this place either rains every single day or never, or it's like scorching desert heat. I haven't experienced the in-between. I mean, you could do it in there. It's just gonna draw more.
Almost have to pick it out of this shit too. This bag ain't big enough for the two of us.
Of course it is. Yeah, if it's really white, I can just pick those.
I mean the dirt bars. Anybody here? Say something in the chat you hear. Stop being weird. Just give people time to come in again.
it's like really white, you can give it to me.
That's really white. It's kind of tinted.
If it's questionable.
Some of these pieces are white already, but some of them. Hey, shalom, Sister Leia. Mama Ima Leia. Shalom. Thank you for tuning in. She said, what we doing? You ain't late. We just started. We had set up and stuff. The audio was being weird. You want to tell her? So what we doing?
Oh, so right now we are picking out the smaller debris of the wool that's already been washed. Some of it's still a little bit stained, so we're gonna put it in this bag to get re-washed again. And whatever is like really clean and really white and ready to be carded and dyed, we're gonna put in a separate bag. It's tedious, yet somehow relaxing.
Yeah, that's how I felt with the first time I hand washed my clothes.
I felt that way the first time I hand
I was
washed
like,
clothes.
this ain't that bad.
And now I'm sick of hand washing clothes.
Yeah, I mean, it depends
After
how much you
a
do
while,
at once.
yeah.
I mean, that's what they used to do all the time. So, I mean,
If I had like better supplies, I guess maybe it wouldn't be so bad. You want to do it? You want to wash my?
did it a few times.
You want to wash my drawers?
No,
I'll wash yours.
it's different. Let's see if she can hear. She said, tell me again, please. How do you wash it? Regular soap?
Okay, so we just use like a light dish soap. You basically put it. Let me get this bucket real quick. Just for example. You can fill a bucket like this with some water and a little bit of dish soap and put your dirty wool in there. You want it to be like close to boiling, so you don't want to stick your hands in there. You'll need like some kind of device to push all the wool down in there. Let it sit for about 30 minutes or so, and then you're gonna put it in another bucket of just regular water with no soap in it, and then do it a couple of times. If it's really dirty wool, you'll probably want to do it like a few times.
What was it once it called? Scouring?
Yeah.
So before the wash, we doing all this, picking through it, trying to get all the debris and stuff out. And unless you're like, what's the word? What's what I'm thinking about? I don't know, you'd have to be like a crackhead to get every little piece out. Because there's little tiny, very tiny, like at the same time, you
That's
would.
what I do.
No, because they need.
No, after it's really clean, that's what I do.
Yeah, I'm saying that the first
Oh, yeah, no,
pull
no,
through, you're
there's
not
no
getting
way.
that out.
No way.
Every cycle
Here, I can
gets a little more out every
show.
step.
Since she wasn't in our first one.
I think she watched it though.
But that
It was hard to see.
it was really hard to see. I don't know if it's gonna be.
Please don't get that dirty wool off her.
Oh. I don't know if you can see all the little pieces of grass and dirt and rocks. It's very brown and dirty, kind of smelly. Snails, bugs. Who knows?
Yeah, we might do this in the kingdom because there's gonna be lambs. We might not eat them. I mean, whether we eat them or not,
I don't want to see the lambs.
you don't gotta kill them. You don't gotta kill them for the wool. You just shear them. You can shear them alive.
True.
And just making woolly clothes. We might be the well, she might be the wool woman in the kingdom. Who knows?
Sounds like a crazy wool lady.
Yeah, so we gonna need clothes somehow, and we're not gonna be wearing polyester. I know that. We're not gonna be wearing all this low vibrational stuff. This is what the Most High gave for us for clothes. Thousands of years ago. It was wool. What else? Linen, like my garments, silk, all that. With silk, you got that's a crazier process than this.
Yeah, I don't.
What's it like worm spit or something or?
Well, there's silk that comes from silkworm, and then you can also use spider web.
Yeah. So getting it from a clean animal that we can eat also. Yeah. And not touched by what's the word? That headache kind of messing with my thought process. Might need another caffeine. Yeah, that too. Not touched by industrial products or industrial machinery. No, straight ancient.
Yeah, because they're gonna use chemicals and stuff to clean the wool in factories and stuff like that. So.
Hold up. Let me see. He said, "Wow, okay, I see why our people did this. Yeah, this is the Israelite way. You know, there's a lot of practices that a lot of people today do that Hebrews did back then that they don't do now. But there's some that people do, like, I don't know if you've seen the video. There's this Hamite lady, right? And she smears cow dung in her house and says it helps clean and make the smell go away.
Keeps bugs out.
But that's a straight Eastern, that's an Indian, like Hindu and Hamite practice. Hebrews would never be caught smearing shit in their house. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine the tabernacle. Now, back then they would use cow dung, clean animal cow dung for fuel for cooking, but actually eating or putting on your hands and smearing around, like. But this right here is what we did. And it's weird, like, going back to when I first washed my clothes by hand, it was new. I never did that before. My mom did it when she was a kid, when she visited Greece. I think she did it other times, but I don't know. It was because it had my mind off of technology or social media, and I spent so much time just doing stuff with my hands and just, like, I don't know if that's what it is, but you're actually engaged in what you're doing, and you're not having it done by things that ain't even real. So, like, working with this, you're actually touching creation. You know what I'm saying? You're touching what the Most High created and gave us for clothing, and the lanolin. Like, I don't know if you heard of lanolin. What's it, like, an oil?
So basically, it's like the oil that comes off of wool, because for some reason sheep produce a lot of this oily stuff called lanolin, and they actually use it for soap, cosmetics, moisturizers, like all kinds of stuff. But the process of collecting it is complicated.
Yeah. She said she's coming to pick her wool coat if we were there in winter in Poland. How much would a coat be? I'll have my servants on this job, please. Called you wool system.
I don't even want to think about a wool coat right now. It's so hot.
Yeah, in Poland it's cold though, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, she says, I think on the post she says real cold in Poland. I want mine.
Let me come join you in Poland then.
I want mine chilling in Poland during the summer.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder what Marrakesh is like right now. straight desert heat.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind some servants, some heathen, you know, doing. But it's cool. It's cool to learn new things, and do new things, and
Mm-hmm. I like doing hands-on stuff.
yeah,
Anyway.
time goes by too, and you're like, I don't know, like working on shofars and working on wool. It's kind of like it's kind of fulfilling in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like you're actually doing something real instead of working on like a phone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we don't have a boss telling us, "Hey, you gotta pick this now," or they gonna whip us type stuff. So, you know, it's on our own will, and literally, Most High, you know, it's like he just was like, "Here, you know, this is what you're supposed to be doing."
Literally
type
just
stuff.
fell in our lap.
Right. Yeah, therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
How long? Praise y'all. How long is the entire process, ma'am? Man, we're just we're literally learning as we go. So
If we
do
had
you
all
know?
the right materials that like people who actually do this have, like they have like the big industrial size sinks with
Mm,
like multiple sinks and drainage systems and buckets. So if we had all of that, it would be a lot quicker.
but same time, it's better to you know do it how we're doing it now. For one reason, is it creates more of a discipline, and it's kind of like a test to see how bad like what you would go through to get it done. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because most people would need the machinery. Most people would need all these tools that they didn't have, and they'd be like, "Oh, just like
Right.
people that threw it away, they ain't doing nothing with it." We saw
Same.
an opportunity, and we're taking advantage of it. So,
Mm-hmm.
so if the time ever comes, we have better tools. If we can do it with our hands, you know,
We have the time. Why not?
you're right. Then imagine like with the chauffeurs. If we made the chauffeurs look how they did with with what we had and how they look. Imagine when we get some straight off the dome ram's horns, non-burned,
Right.
and we got the proper and we have actual better tools to use, bruh. We gonna be the best shofar makers in the world, and we ain't
Mm-hmm.
Jay Wish Keenan family that has a monopoly on the shofar. So you know, would you rather get it from Keenan and Kel, or the Jay Wish Keenan and Kel, or you know yours truly? So hey yo, shalom Asriel, shalom out shalom from Michigan. That's my bro.
I wonder how it feels there. Is the weather good
He
there?
said
Is it
Michigan
hot?
was hot the other
What?
week.
It's up north too.
He said Michigan was Detroit was I think he's in Detroit still. I'm not sure. He did move around. Well, I think he said 95. 95.
It's hot everywhere.
Right. He said yes, I agree. 100. Learn all we can.
Mm-hmm.
Too much work to do. Yahweh Barak your works. Deuteronomy 28 1 through 13. You will soon. Hey, that's facts. I already know. I'm being tested, molded, refined, all that. Um, Forced to learn things mentally, spiritually, physically, all these things, and
Definitely.
it's only for my benefit at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And it's just gonna be more appreciative of when we get
Mm-hmm.
where we're meant to be. So, you know, it's all good. I ain't and to say, look, we did it with the dancing emoji. Praise y'all. Amazing
I
so
feel like
far.
just being here in general is kind of a test.
Oh,
Just
most
some of the
deaf.
stuff.
Most deaf. That's gonna be another topic on another video.
Yes.
We're gonna go in on trials, tests, tribulations, all that
Moroccans.
jazz. Moroccans. You know.
Does this feel a little greasy to you. I think it could use another wash. It's white, but it's kind of oily feeling. Smell. I'll just push it.
Couldn't hurt. This don't. I don't know.
It doesn't smell, but it just feels oily. So let me wash it again.
Alright, so how long we been on this? Dang, it's been that long. Alright, so kind of wanted to wait. Yeah, certain parts of Morocco are really cool. Some places people don't care about throwing stuff on the ground. A lot of people don't care about throwing trash on the ground, which I was surprised to see in an Islamic country. I'm sure it's not all of them. I'm sure it's not all of them. Morocco is really the most, if you'd want to say Western or progressive, liberal Islamic country. So I guess they might have been a little Americanized, but some places like Chef Shawan we want to go, they're probably still on really main, not as city. You stay away from the cities, real, you know.
The touristy areas are more modern, westernized.
Yeah. So yeah, wanted to wait until more bodies got in here for participation, maybe questions, maybe what's the word?
Some
sharing testimony type stuff or stories, whatever, or just to chime in. But I assume it's gonna be the same as last time. I assumed on the weekend we'd be able to have more participation, but we only had like, I think max 4 or 5 on the live, during the live. I don't know if that was, it kept changing, so I don't know if different people kept coming in and out or it was the same ones. But it might be like very few people on the live, and then next thing you know, there's 90 people that viewed it after the fact. So it might be like that. So we might as well just get started.
Some kind of delay.
Might as well just get started. I know somebody else has another live going on too, which I didn't really know about until after the fact. But
it's alright.
But I mean, it's all good. Oh yeah, but if you gonna visit, yeah, we're gonna need a bigger place. this B&B we're at now is not, it's not visitor friendly. But yeah, yep.
Barely have enough room for our stuff.
Yeah. So with that being said, we got 4 people now. I don't know if it includes this phone or is yours on too. Maybe 3 people on. So we'll just get started. People can go through the watch the replay. So yeah, so the topic basically, how do you know if the Most High Yahweh, whatever you want to call him, Yahweh, El Elyon, how do you know if your relationship, your spouse, whoever you're dealing with really, was either ordained or he brought them to you, or if you chose your spouse with your own mind, your own heart, you leaned upon your own understanding, your own lust, or anything like that. So this time I'm a little more prepared. I got a couple notes. So, oh yeah, not only that, did he choose them for you? Did he bring them to you? How do you know? Did you choose them with your own eyes or heart? And regardless of if he gave them to you or not, are they fulfilling their role? Regardless. Because you also got to think, the Most High can give you somebody, but they still got to fulfill the role. He gave Adam and Eve, right? We know how that went. Likewise, in a way, Adam was given to her because that was, but he didn't fulfill his role in guiding her and letting her know, we ain't doing this shit. So, you know how that went. So since I am a male of the male species, I'm gonna focus on the men, for the most part, because really, historically, it was the men that sought out the wives. So I got the question of what are the qualities of a good wife? So we all know Proverbs 31, and we can, well, we're gonna read through it a little bit here, because you want to know, regardless if you feel the Most High brought to you or you chose them off your own whim, you still want to know what a good wife is. So Proverbs 31. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool. Hey, yeah.
I didn't write it.
She seeketh wool. Hey, yeah. And flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. These dainty hands working, bruh. What? She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. So she's willing to work, showing qualities of the creator, because the creator creates. You can't be a creator if you don't create. And the creator put in work. Then he rested. Likewise, Proverbs 31 woman. And we know that wisdom is in the feminine. So Proverbs 31 woman. She ain't scared to put work in. She ain't scared to be as a connecto, a help me, helping a man progress, helping a man physically, work wise, whether it's working together or she has her own thing she does. Maybe the man's out working the field, hunting, and she's doing whatever. Point is, she ain't selfish. Ain't a gold digger that's just gonna sit around and expect and just sit there and just watching housewives of Israel, housewives of Israel all day, and just waiting on the man to come, throw grapes in her mouth, and she ain't doing nothing. She just spending all the money. That's not the qualities of a Proverbs 31 woman. You gotta work together. So that's one way to know. She will do him good and not evil all days of her life. How I want to say this? Well, here's the heart of her husband. They safely trust in her, so she gotta be trustworthy. She gotta be proven herself. Some people, they is only as loyal as long as the situation is right, but they ain't gonna be like Sarah, following Abraham through whatever he was, all his travails, all his sojourns, and she right there, you know? She here, 31:15. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. Even if it's late, she feeding. She cooking up. She ain't cooking like Becky either. No shade to people that cook like Becky. You can always improve. Here, she considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hand, she plants a vineyard. So she considers enterprise, ownership, seeking towards sovereignty, giving back to the land, where planting, growing crops, cares about the environment, you know. She girds her loins with strength and strengtheneth her arms. You want to show them?
Oh, yeah.
Look at these
guns.
Look at them guns from all the work she been putting in with these shofars and wool. She perceives that her merchandise is good. Her candle goes not out by night. She lays her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold to the distaff. This is KJV, so it might be weird.
I could use a spindle.
I should probably read from my taLk.
reason.
Let's get you a nice spindle, huh?
Okay. For wool.
Here. Let me see some of the comments first. As I turn. Somebody please I desire this life, praying my offsprings make it so I can teach them Yahweh. We can work together and I can cook up. Hey, I would love to try your cooking. I would love to try your cooking. I bet you can whip up a storm. A good storm.
Could whip up a feast.
Right. Shit. Oh, that's the same. She spreads out her palms to the poor and extends her hands to the destitute. Giving, not selfish. Another quality creator. He provides for the widow, the hungry, clothes the naked, supports the fatherless, the widows, the strangers, all that. So you don't want a female that always thinks about herself. At the bare minimum, she gotta think about her family. At the bare minimum, everyone in the family, not just her or the kids, but also the husband. Gotta do good, not evil to the husband also. You know what I'm saying? It can't be, there's gonna be disagreements, there can't be war though. There has to be, there has to be, you gotta talk to things, common ground and all that. Now, you also gotta think though, and I'll get to this in a little bit too. Sometimes we gotta listen to our wives like not all the time I'm gonna say, cause but Sarah was, well, even though she caused it, she gave Abraham her what do you call her? I'm trying to think of the word he called her. The Hebrew word, what was that? I can't think of it right now, but and then she reneged, but she was right in what she said because Mosai supported. And then in the case of Isaac and Rebecca, Isaac, a little too headstrong, thinking about the firstborn rights and all that, but they were told the promise beforehand that the older shall serve the younger. He wanted to give the blessing to Esau because he's the firstborn, but they was already told the older's gonna serve the younger. But she took heed to the prophecy, what was promised, and also knowing that Yaakov rightfully, well, they say he deceived, or he what was the word? Supplanted, which is his name. He was meant to supplant though, but so it was really his birthright anyway. It was Esau gave it up anyway, so it was rightfully she did the right thing either way. Okay. Gives. Oh, wait. She fears not snow for her household, for all her household is clothed in scarlet wool. She made herself luxurious bedspreads and linen. Linen and purple wool are her clothing. We need some purple wool.
Mm-hmm.
I would love some purple wool. Her husband is distinctive in the councils when he sits with elders of the land. She makes a cloak and sells it, and delivers a belt to the peddler. Constantly making things, you know what I'm saying? And that's not even to say that, because the days and times we in, especially you in the West, you're most likely not gonna be working spindles and wool and all that junk. But the point is, the essence of it is not being afraid to get your hands dirty, put in work when needed. Strength and majesty are her raiment, and she joyfully awaits the last day. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. but she's not a fool. Not, you know, what's that thing? I'm just saying foolish things, foolish talk. Like most people you'll see on social media talking about their their body counts. You know, bragging about their body counts, or what was that post you said? It was some kind of post. I don't know, just weird stuff y'all be talking about. Not y'all, but like the common modern woman, especially in the West, just things that people be saying. Like, why would you say this on? Why would you say this at all? But why
Like
would you say it on?
the standards they want in a man are like unrealistic, and they're like, you know, don't have much going for themselves. They're not that attractive. All they have to offer is their looks, but they want like the perfect man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then just things y'all say would not have nobody attracted to you. Like just vulgar, the craziest stuff. You don't want that. Or her putting your business out, because that's foolish. Putting your business out for everybody to know or see, hear, chime in on, and then there's levels. There's some things need to be brought forefront, like if it's domestic abuse type stuff. We spar, so you know it's cool. We let it be known we spar.
It's consensual.
Consensual sparring. Oh yeah. She anticipates the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of laziness. She ain't just laying down getting fat, eating the bread. She cooking the bread too. Her husband getting fat. Her children have risen and praised her husband, and he extolled her. Many women have amassed achievement, but you surpass them all. Grace is false, beauty vain. A woman who fears Yahweh, she should be praised. Give her the fruits of her hand, and let her be praised in the gates by her very own deeds. Her work speak for herself. That's the type of woman, the qualities in woman you should be seeking. Yeah. Yeah. I know him, I know. No problem. I'm just doing the work of the Most High. I'm just doing the work of the Creator. And you know what when he blesses me, I can bless others. But I don't even want no thanks. It's all, it's all thanks to him. I'm just a vessel. Yeah. Oh wait, I'm off the room. Okay. Is that WooL? Alright, so another thing to look for, or here's another thing I'll say, her desire will be towards you and helping uplift you with words and deeds. So where did I want to get at? Oh, okay. Let's go to Sirach 26, 1 through 3. The husband of a good wife is favored, and the length of his life will be double. A courageous wife will make her husband happy, and he will complete his years in peace. A good wife is a great blessing. The one who fears Yahweh will receive her as a part of his Elohim given portion. So this is what I wanted to go into about how does a man obtain a wife or a good wife? The one who fears Yahweh will receive her as a part of his Elohim given portion. Go down to verse 23 to 25. Listen here. And then you gotta think, when you got your woman, did you fear the Most High? Were you in wickedness? Or could you say you was righteous, or at least walking towards righteousness? Sirach 26, 23 through 25. An ungodly woman will be bestowed on a lawless man as his portion, but a godly woman is granted to the man who fears Yahweh. That's twice. You gotta fear the Most High, and that that fear shouldn't come from being scared. Like, yeah, you scared if you transgress against him. You scared if you blaspheme his name. Then, okay, that's what you should be afraid of his punishment to you if you are rebellious. But your initial fear should be more of a respect. It should come from a place of love. It should come. The basis should be love, and the love steers to the fear, and which is the combination of love and fear is respect. Because if you only follow him, if you follow somebody, if you only listen to somebody because of fear of punishment, like how Christians fear, they worship JC because of fear of hellfire. But if you only serve the Most High because you're scared of judgment, that's not really, that's a lesser version of obedience. If you serve him because you want reward, that's what you're thinking about. I'm gonna obey him because I get this reward, and that's your that's your foundation, or your what can I think right now? That's your motivation. That's a lesser form of obedience. You're doing it for your own gain. If you do it out of love, that's the purest thing. Your fear comes from love. You're obeying because you know he's your creator, he's your father. That's like serving a slave master, right? You're following the slave master because you don't want to get beat or killed, or you don't want your family, you know, they don't want to do nothing to your family. That's fear. That's following out of fear. That's serving out of fear. Or compare that to listening and obeying your parents, which the Most High is basically everybody's father, parent, you want to say. That's like a polar opposite. You're doing it because that's the essence of who you are. That's your relationship with him. So, sir, if you're gonna fear him, make sure that fear is based in love. You're serving, obeying out of love. It leads you into the fear of, you know, you fear because he can destroy you. He can whoop your ass. He can put belt to ass, bars. Oh wait, that's ass rhyme. It's the same word. Never mind. That ain't bars. It's Lil Wayne bars. But yeah. Well, we see the basis, the common denominator is fear of Yahweh, granting you a good wife. Verse 24. A shameless woman will always be in disgrace, but a dignified daughter will show modesty even with her husband. An unruly wife will be thought of as a dog. Some translations say a shameless woman is counted as a bitch. It means dog. But the wife who feels shame will fear Yahweh. You don't want a woman that don't feel shame for like bad things she has done in the past or that she currently does. What it say? A harlot wipes her mouth and says she has done nothing wrong. She just went and committed adultery or prostitution, bestiality, whatever, pedophilia. Wipes her mouth, and there's men that do this stuff too. But I'm just going by the verses, and I'm speaking to the men because the men gotta be the strong ones, and us being the so-called hunters or what we're supposed to lead. A lot of y'all being led by these type of women. Y'all gotta be stronger in making sure. If you do choose, you choose wisely. You're strong enough to choose wisely and let go of what is not good for you. If you're currently with somebody, or if you're courting, or if you're single, whatever. So just look for these qualities. Make sure you're righteous, because you can be in your wickedness and you're gonna be given a harlot. You're gonna be given. You're gonna be given a damn behemoth, a leviathan in your bed. You're sleeping with leviathan. Wake up and her makeup's off and she looks like Leviathan, I guess. I can't think of nothing more spiritually speaking though, because beauty's vain. You can have all beauty in the world, but your soul, you're ugly on the inside. You're just, it's what good is it?
Your soul outshines your exterior.
Yeah. Your inside should reflect. Well, your inside should be more beautiful than your outside. Yeah. Yeah, they have no fear breaking His commandments. Christians fear hell, hellfire. If it was not for hellfire, they would not care about no JC. They already don't follow what he allegedly did. He allegedly kept Torah perfectly his whole life. But Christian means follower of Christ. So if he kept Torah, why don't y'all keep Torah? Why y'all eating pork and why y'all doing the most heinous shit? And I don't know, that's another topic. Because really, if Christian means follower of Christ and Christ kept Torah perfectly, then the people that keep Torah and serve Yah alone are they're closer to what they think they are than they are, But we ain't no Christians over here. So yeah. Shalom to the chat. I see 8, 9 in here. Y'all hit the like and comment, say something in the chat. Say hi, say shalom, something. I don't even like calling y'all chat. I just get that from listening to a lot of live streams. I don't even like calling y'all chat. I think it's corny. Cause y'all human beings. Y'all are sheep. You know what I'm saying? Here, put a sheep in the chat.
Sheep on wolf.
Boom.
Makes sense.
But yeah, if anybody got anything to chime in on the topic, any questions or anything, y'all can I'll get to it when I see it. I'm going through some verses now. Let's go to here. Proverbs 18:22. Whoso finds a way finds a good thing and obtains favor from Yahweh. 19:14. Houses and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from Yahweh. Now that word prudent in the Hebrew is sakal. Sakal, S-A-K-A-L, for the sound, which can mean wise, witty, circumspect, understanding. Another quality, you want her to contain sakal, wisdom, which hokmah. You want to be wise, witty, circumspect, which means she thinks, she uses her brain. She don't just talk without thinking, act without thinking, or learn from mistakes, stuff like that. You don't want no damn that's like an animal, bro. That's like an animal, if I could think of it. And that same word sakal is used in Joshua 1:8 when it says, when you meditate on the Torah day and night and observe to do all that is commanded, then you will find prosperity. And in English, in some translations, it says success, but that word there for success is that word sakal. All right, now let me see if any. Or throw a bad in the chat. Throw a bad. Here, I'll do it for you. All caps. Hey, shalom, Nolo. Shalom. Good to see you, bro. I believe that's my boy from the trading group I was in. Yes, I don't know if you were here the whole time. We basically went through qualities of a good wife scripturally. You can go through. I'll give the verses though if you want to write them down. We went through Proverbs 31. Everyone knows that, qualities of a good woman. Sirach, which is this is in the Apocrypha. They took this book out of the common canon. Sirach, aka Ecclesiasticus, not Ecclesiastes, Ecclesiasticus, but just look up Sirach, Sirach. Sirach 26, 1 through 3, and Sirach 26, 23. Both which basically say a good wife is given to someone who fears Yahweh. You have to have the fear of Yahweh, and the fear of Yahweh is the hatred of evil, hating. Damn, do I gotta go read it? I should actually go through that. Well, there's several things. The fear of Yahweh, wisdom is the beginning. Actually, let me go through that. That's actually a good thing to steer into. Because say you gotta fear Yahweh to obtain a good wife, but what is the fear of Yahweh? No, it's clearly obeying His commandments. You know what he spoke, what it was written down for us to do, to follow. Here, Psalm 111:10. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do His commandments. His praise endure forever. This is also uttered in Proverbs 1:7. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So you can, so basically, to have wisdom, you have to keep the commandments of the Most High. You have to serve Him. You have to, everyone knows the 10 Commandments. There's a bunch of other commandments and laws. There's some we can't do in exile outside the land. There's some we can't do without Levites. Some only meant for men, some only for women. But the basic thing is walking in humility, doing good for others, helping others, seeking peace, only going to war if you really need to, which part of justice is defending the weak, fighting for the rights of the poor, helping the needy, stuff like that. I ain't gonna go through all the laws, but so you have to have the fear of the Most High, which is the beginning of wisdom. You have to have wisdom. You have to work in wisdom, walk in wisdom, in His commandments to be blessed with a woman of the Most High. So you have to fear Him, have wisdom, and that fear should come from love, not begin with fear of being judged. It should be because it's in your heart to follow Him. Here. Proverbs 8:13. So if we're gonna have the fear of Yahweh, the fear of Yahweh is also to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the froward mouth. So just a few examples of the fear of Yahweh, the Most High. Okay, where did I want to get to next? Now, there's nothing we gotta ask. Because my question was in the title, did the Most High provide, do you feel the Most High provided your spouse? Or did you choose from your own eyes, your own understanding, leaning on your own understanding, your own lust? Basically, you picked. You didn't pray. You didn't get no signs. You didn't nothing. You were looking. You were actively seeking. You were in the club. You were in the club. In the club, by 50 Cent was playing. You were, popping bottles, looking for models, bars, trying to attract them with your fancy car, trying to look like a star. I ain't gonna. All right, let me stop. Okay, so yeah, you were moving the way you was moving, trying to find a woman. was like the world. You were looking for someone that in a place where you're not gonna find purity. And not only that, you weren't moving in wisdom. You weren't moving in the wisdom, in the fear of the Most High. You weren't keeping His commandments. You were not living a righteous life. And what it say? A good wife is given to a righteous man, basically. And if you're evil, He'll give you an evil woman. How many times have we seen that? Like, how do you see it all the time? Like, you see the most wicked dude, and they end up with like
Whores.
the most wicked woman. Now they might, whores. They might get a good girl, but then they'll shit on her. But they don't really end up with her type stuff. Well, then you say a good girl, but she's not really in the Torah. Yeah. So the way we knew our patriarchs, how we see our patriarchs choosing. You can look at Solomon. Solomon chose all those wives and concubines, and a lot of them were strange wives, a lot foreign wives, and the main thing, not just them being foreign, but they really were. There were 7 nations we weren't supposed to deal with, and not only that, they served strange gods. That's the main thing. It says they will lead your heart away from Him, from the Most High. So if those foreign wives were serving the Most High, Yahweh, He wouldn't have had an issue. He wouldn't have had the slightest compulsion to build them idols or cater to them. So then you look at Samson. It says he saw a Philistine woman that was fitting in his eyes. In his eyes. And in Judges it says people in those days were doing what was right in their own eyes. So his parents didn't pick the woman. And his initial wife, we don't know too much about her. Now, and then, and this could have even been it says the Most High put it on him to want her because to have an occasion against the Philistines, and they ended up killing his wife and her father. So, but then he goes to Delilah. He chose Delilah. You can tell me the Most High provided here. He gave him a good wife in Delilah. Samson was low-key going off every now and then a little bit. He wasn't all the way there. So he ended up getting his eyes plucked out. He ended up getting his hair cut off. He lost his strength. And he ended up dying. The man that slayed 1,000 people by himself with a donkey jawbone ended up dying with his eyes cut out. But he did get his strength back for one last time. He prayed. His hair grew back while he was in the prison. And he got his hair back. And, he killed more people that day. Granted, how he died, but he did take out that day more than he did his whole life. So, at the end of the day, he still put in work. He still did something. But you compare that with how did Isaac obtain a wife? What was he doing? Genesis 24, or Bereshit 24. Abraham sent Eleazar, his servant, to go find his son a wife. Isaac didn't go looking for her. He didn't do it without the consent or the knowledge, the wisdom, the insight of his parents. Abraham told dude, yo, go here, go to this place, to these people, find my boy a wife. And what did Eleazar do? Eleazar prayed, and he put forth a test to know who his wife should be. Not soon after he was done praying, here comes Rebecca, right? She comes to the well. We see this theme also. We see this theme a few times with Rebecca and What was the other one? I cannot think right now.
Because you were saying it's always
Rachel.
water.
Yeah. Rebecca and Rachel at a well. So Rebecca came to draw water. Let me read a little bit of that. I want to get it. I don't want to, bear sheet. Let me check this chat. Shalom, we lost a lot of watchers, I guess. Alright. Oh, wait.
I'm not entertaining
Shit.
Nobody wants to watch us people and talk about love.
I talk about maybe they're women or not. Here. We're gonna start here. This is Abraham talking to Eliezer. Genesis 24:3 in my Tanakh. It might be different in your KJV, I'm not sure. And I will have you swear by Yahweh, Elohim of heaven and Elohim of earth, or Hashemayim and Eretz, that you not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites. He gave criteria. So Isaac was going to marry who his father, because remember, the Canaanites, they was one of the 7 nations that they weren't supposed to mix with. Not of the daughters of the Canaanites out there shaking their booties around, Asherah poles and stuff, or whatever they was doing, among whom I dwell. Rather to my land and to my kindred shall you go and take a wife from my son for Isaac. Let's go down. They made an oath. And look. Down to verse 11. When Eleazar came to the city of Nahor, he made the camels kneel down outside the city towards a well of water at evening time, the time when the women who draw water come out. And he said, Yahweh, Elohim of my master Abraham, may you so arrange it for me this day that you do kindness with my master Abraham. Behold, I am standing here by the spring of water, and the daughters of the townsmen come out to draw water. Let it be that the maiden to whom I shall say, please tip over your jug so I may drink, and who replies, drink, and I will even water your camels. Her will you have designated to your servant for Isaac, and may I know through her that you have done kindness with my master. So he prayed. He prayed of who it was to give to his master Abraham his son Isaac. And he gave specific criteria to be met to know who it was. And it was when he had not yet finished speaking. He didn't even finish speaking it, actually. That suddenly Rebekah was coming out, she who had been born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, brother of Abraham, with her jug upon her shoulder. Now the maiden was very fair to look upon, a virgin whom no man had known. She descended to the spring, filled her jug, and descended. The servant ran toward her and said, let me sip, if you please, a little water from your jug. She said, drink, Adoni, or my L-O-R-D, lower cat. I don't like saying that word. Basically like my, it's a word for master, or, they called kings Adoni, my L-O-R-D. Not capital L-O-R-D, where the Most High, Tetragrammaton, YHWH, Yahweh is there. It's a different word. Drink, and quickly she lowered her jug to her hand and gave him the drink. When she finished giving him the drink, she said, I will draw water even for your camels until they finish drinking. She made exactly what he prayed the sign to be. He didn't just go looking, oh, she's pretty. Isaac would love her. Girl, no. He didn't say, oh, let me have some of that. She's pretty. Let me take her. He did his mission. He made sure the Most High was behind because this is Isaac. This is who the promise is to. This ain't no game, you know? Abraham knew that. So Abraham had say in this. They back then, the parents had a lot of respect and say in who their children, got with. So this clearly is an example of Isaac did not choosing his wife. He didn't go that route of Samson, Solomon, even Dawid. We don't really hear too much. He did like what was her name? I cannot think today, bro. I gotta be that heat. I know it's with an M. I can't think right now. But Saul's wife, Saul's daughter. Look at me. But when it came, especially when it came to Bathsheba, Dawid clearly chose her with his own heart, with his own lust. The Most High was not behind that. That was Uriah's wife. That's adultery, and then he had dude murdered to hide it being his child. To hide his adultery. That's another example. Leaning on your own lust, understanding your own wisdom, not leaning on, and it's the funny thing, Isaac was in his purpose. Isaac was doing his thing. Isaac was serving the Creator. Isaac was a righteous man, and he was giving Rebecca. What was he out? Meditating in the field, right? Where's it at? Let me find this. Now Isaac, here it is 24:62. This is after, Eliezer basically was given confirmation from the Most High. Rebecca's the one. Went and talked to the family, seen that she would come. She was down with it. She knew what it was. It was meant to be, basically. So she comes. They're riding on camels, going towards where Isaac at, right? Verse 62. Now Isaac came from having gone to Beer Lahai Roy, for he dwelt in the south country. Isaac went out to supplicate in the field towards evening. Some translations say meditate, but there's like 7, I think, at least 5 different Hebrew words for meditate. It depends on the context what he's doing, but he was in the field supplicating, doing his purpose. He's focused, right? He's focused on what he's supposed to, his walk. And he raised his eyes and saw, and behold, camels were coming. So he's focused. He's completely focused. He's supplicating in the field. And his wife comes to him. He didn't go looking, bro. He's looking. He's chilling. He's focused on his purpose. Rebecca raised her eyes and saw Isaac. She inclined while on the camel and said to her servant, "Who is that man walking in the field towards us?" The servant said, "He is my master." She then took the veil and covered herself. The servant told Isaac all the things he had done. Isaac brought her into the tent of Sarah, his mother. And what went down there when they went in the tent. He married Rebecca. She became his wife, and he loved her, and thus Isaac was consoled after the death of his mother. So, yeah. Isaac didn't go to the club. Isaac didn't go to the Asherah poles. but they were, stripping and dancing and shucking and jiving and all that jazz. That's an example of not really looking and allowing the Most High, being on your purpose and allowing the Most High to provide and being and praying. You gotta pray. You gotta fear the Most High, keep His commandments, move in wisdom, and not use your secular eyes, your Western eyes, to try to look for a woman. Because most of the times you're not gonna pick the right woman. Another example. Jacob and Rachel. Now in this situation, Jacob kind of just, he kind of stumbled on Rachel. He was given Leah. So the one that he sought out, that he worked for, he didn't even end up getting initially. He worked for one that he didn't want. And that was in part, it was cunning of Laban, but also it was kind of working of the Most High for the 12 tribes to be, to come through how they did and have their particular characteristics. There was another situation where, he went to a well with his flock, Genesis 29:9. While he was still speaking with them, Rachel arrived with her father's flock, for she was a shepherdess. This is one of the points I wanted to get into, mainly with with Rachel. She was a shepherdess. It's another example of a woman not like being a pussyfoot. She's want to lounge and watch housewives of Israel, of the Hebrew Israelites all day and do Nathan. She a shepherdess, bro. She out there. That's a selfless job. You're basically, and they call goats kids, right? You basically like a parent. And that's one of the shepherding is one of the. It's one of the, from my perspective, it's one of the closest jobs, occupation somebody can have to being like the Most High. And he called the shepherd, right? We're called his flock, his sheep, right? Being a shepherd is selfless. It's kind of like being a prophet also, or a king. A king has a people, prophets have a people to speak to, kings have a people to lead, to guide, to be an example to, so that they follow and they don't do all the craziness. Because when a king is wicked, the people are going to be wicked for the most part. They're going to suffer. When the wicked are in rule, the people moan and groan. So, being a shepherd, that's a very, I'd say that's a holy job. You got to protect your sheep. You got to lead them in the right direction. You gotta make sure they don't get in the wrong things. They could eat something poisonous. They could run into a wolf or a lion. Whether you're talking about physical sheep or you're talking about, metaphorically, symbolically with people, whether it be your family or you lead a congregation or whatever the case may be. Even if it was like me in a trade, like say I started a trading community and I teach people the wrong things and I lead them, like, there's snakes out there, they just want to get your money, that's overcharge you stuff. You're trusting them as your shepherd in that point, and they teach you garbage. They tell you over leverage. They just tell you all the wrong things. They don't teach you discipline. And you're led the wrong way. You lose all your money, and you're worse off than you were before. So it goes in all facets of life. Teachers, they're in a way they're a shepherd. So you got Rachel, a shepherdess. That's a high form of occupation for not only a man, but you got a woman doing it. That's a highly valuable woman right there, bro. That can shepherd a flock. So she has qualities of a leader in a sense. She probably has qualities of a good mother in a sense now. She's used to taking care of a bunch of different, things outside of herself, having to deal with different personalities of this sheep, that sheep, feeding, watering, bathing, whatever the case may be, protecting, all that. She's responsible. That's a teacher responsibility for other things than yourself. So, yeah. Now, and that would make a great help me. Shit. I for one, would love to have me a flock. I think it's dope. Remember,
In the park.
so many times we've seen in the park or the street, you just see 100 sheep, bro, and one dog or something.
And a donkey.
And a donkey, which donkeys are really actually good for protecting. People wouldn't think it, but they will grab a wolf's neck and just yoke that thing around and break a wolf's neck. Donkeys ain't to play with, bro. They say dumb as an ass, but
I would love a donkey.
I would love a donkey, bro. And you can ride around with them in there. Praying for my good son. Yeah, religion would say she was a child. Ain't no child being a shepherdess. That's I don't know. I have never read the Talmud or there's a Babylonian Talmud, then you got the Jerusalem Talmud. I haven't gone through them, but in the Dead Sea Scrolls it said marriageable age was 20. They would send the boys would turn to men basically and go to war 20 and up. And in the Dead Sea Scrolls it said marriageable age was 20. So you would think she would at least be 20. But I mean, I'm sure she wasn't a child, He said, she ain't gonna be a little child removing her veil, going up, who's that man, and kissing and taking her in a tent and fornicating. No, bro. This ain't no Aisha and Muhammad situation. This ain't no, the Christians, the Catholics, the Jewish. A lot of these religions, a lot of these people are very perverse. That's why that's when Most High had us going into the land, and he had to say, do not do these practices with your family, with this one, that one, animals. He had to say that because all the other people were doing shit like that. So there's all these other people groups, they're the ones, the progenitors basically of that type of behavior. So they basically just want to, there's people that want to, in colloquial terms, shit on the Torah and blaspheme the Most High and make the Tanakh look bad, whether because they don't like it or they're just wicked, or they just lack understanding. They don't even know how to read the language and stuff like that, so they're going off of, there's so many different English translations, which one are you talking about? And then there's people that like that type of shit. Just like you got the Queen James Bible, right? You got the Queen James version. So they use the Queen James version to support LGBTQ XYZ plus minus division mark exclamation point, all that bullshit. So people are gonna cater to what a lot of people are gonna cater to their desires. So there's people that like young children like that, they're gonna, and especially if they're a Christian or Jewish in that ism, they're gonna support that. They're gonna try to find a loophole. Oh, Scripture supports I can do this. So there's nothing to support that doctrine that people making up their own folly, their own just saying shit without basis. Let me see. But yeah, I'll shalom to the chat. So basically everything we went over so far. Qualities of a good wife, what you gotta be doing to get a good wife. Not choosing on your own standards or seeking or looking too hard. Focus on yourself. Allow the Most High. Pray and allow the Most High to do it. Because now we're gonna get into that's exactly what I did. Now we're gonna get into story time. So, and I mentioned this. If you heard my testimony or read my book, part of that is contained in there. Well, this portion of my testimony. So, what I did basically is the same. It was the same thing. Like, so after my last relationship, ex, and that wasn't good. So low key, la. So I told the Most High, I prayed to him and I vowed to him, and I was like, the next woman I lay with, I'm gonna make my wife. So I'm trying to remember exactly how I said it, because this was like 2017ish or 2018ish. And I was like, basically, if you provide me a wife, I'll be celibate until you provide me a wife. Because the next one I lay with, that's what it is. So I'm a very handsome man, So, I am. So I was very careful. I had many opportunities, different women, to lay with them, to deal with them. I dated here and there, but as soon as I seen, especially when I woke up to the Torah, which was late 2017, I was Hebrew Israelite. I was still in the NT. Late 2017, I believed in the Black Messiah, so called. So yeah, I was in the Hebrew Israelite stuff, but I was still. I woke up to at least following Torah, at least knowing the Most High's name, and getting closer to where I am now. So I had more discernment. I was on my semen retention stuff. I had higher standards. I had higher biblical standards, Torah standards. So my spiritual eye, if you want to say, oh, soul's wicked. You talking about spiritual eyes? I'm not talking about no new age shit. So shut up. Should I do the thing?
Yeah.
We'll say that. We'll say that. So yeah. So I had opportunities. I didn't take them. I could have attracted women at that. But that always stayed in my head. Like I said, the next one I lay with is gonna be my wife. So I can't get around that. I prayed to the Most High. I asked him to send me a wife on his time, and a good woman basically, a good wife. And I vowed the next one I lay with is gonna be my wife. So I was celibate 2.5, 3 years. I was focused on me. I was bumping Nipsey Hussle, Victory Lap. I was in the gym 5 a.m. I was trading 3 a.m. Waking up London session. I was focusing on my career path. I was focusing on Torah, getting closer to the Most High. Bettering myself every day. All that. So then it came 2019, mid 2019, and around this time I was questioning dudes in my there was dudes, my brothers at the time, they all would talk with meet up for feast days and stuff like that. And, new moons, Feast of Tabernacles, all the feasts. We meet up, cook lamb, you know, sometimes we be burning, had the wine and stuff. This was before my Nazarite vow. So, and I was still, even then, I was still that early. I was questioning the New Testament here and there, and just asking questions to them. It's like I wasn't fully there yet, but so it came to I had just walked out of my job July 5th, 2019, and is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
Today.
Oh shit! Yo, see how that works?
Mm-hmm.
So it was exactly 7 years. Exactly 7 years today now. Mm-hmm. I just realized that, yo. Damn. Mm-hmm. So 7 years to the day was when we were supposed to go. Oh wait, I walked out of my job, and then we were supposed to go. I think that night. I think, yeah, that night. We were supposed to go that night, July 5th. Somebody she knows from middle school. I knew him for 2 years. He made beats for me, and a couple when I was making music. You know, in high school. Mm-hmm. High school. Making beats for me, and he made cover art for a few songs. And I chilled with him a few times, and he had a Bible on his dash all the time, and went to a bonfire, chilled, worked on some music with him and some other female one time. He was cool, and then he just asked out the blue, like, do you want to come to North Carolina with me, where she was from, and basically go work on some music type stuff. Get away, I just worked out my job. He just wanted to go work with some boys, some people he knew. I got a few on Facebook now, but basically he comes to my house. I'm gonna try to make it as short as possible. He comes to my house. I believe he got possessed by some stuff. I don't know if he got some stuff with his family. He comes to my house. What was it? The night of the 6th. Well, no, the night of the 5th, I think. Yeah, the night of the 5th, but it was really like the 6th, because it was like close to midnight, I think. So he pulls up, my boy Shane's there. He comes, he drops his Bible falls in a puddle on the ground. I pick it up for him. He acts like he didn't care about that. He's talking, he sounds different actually when he's talking. He's talking about his brother's not his brother no more. In 10 days, his brother's gonna have a $500,000 deal or something like that, or something like that. I'm trying to get to the main points. He looks me in my eyes. He says, "Ooh, let me see your eyes. Ooh, they said you'd have those eyes." Still don't know who the fuck they are. I kind of have an idea. They may be watching right now. Apparently they know who I am. So try to make a long story short, he sleeps in my house. A pipe in the bathroom busts when he comes in the house. We gotta get it fixed, like 2, 3 in the morning. Wake up, eat breakfast, outside watching the Israelite video. A camp in Dallas, I believe. I remember the dude. It was an older dude with a gray beard saying he's gonna cut some Edomites' heads off. We watching that, and he looks at me again, and he says, "I know who you are." Well, he don't expound on that. And actually, think about it now. I don't know if they was in him when he said that. But so we're getting ready to leave, and I get this in my spiritual antenna, if you want to say, or I guess what you want to call the ruach, whatever. In my soul, I get a feeling, I get a bad feeling, and actually I don't know if it wasn't like an actual vision, but like I had a thought, and I kind of seen it, of running through the woods and being chased. So I had the thought to bring my gun with me. But then I prayed on it and I was like, nah, Most High gonna protect me, you know what I'm saying? My mom didn't want me to go when I told her I'm going to North Carolina with this dude. I told her basically it's a leap of faith. I told her that earlier. I ended up leaving without her knowing. She asked where I'm at, and my boy Shane he was staying with me at the time. He was like, he tells her he left. He dipped. And he was supposed to come with me too. Which probably good that he didn't. So, driving to North Carolina. Yeah, we're driving to North Carolina. Stop at Chick-fil-A, you know, get some food. End up in North Carolina like 11 at night. Takes me to some places where he used to stay at. I could feel the bad energy around. He said bad stuff happened here. We happened to see some little Israelite boy, and we started talking to him randomly. He just standing outside. We just started go talk to him. You know, you're an Israelite, this and that. Keep the commandments of the Most High. Yeah, it just feels eerie presence where we're at. And as we're riding around, I got my 1611 KJV on my lap. And I start reciting Psalm 91 and 23, I believe, out loud. And we both I don't know if he said it too, but I was basically just praying over places. I don't know if that irritated something in him or something. Then we end up driving around. We're getting followed by this white Jeep or white car or something. I don't even remember really. But we felt like it was like a drive-by gang initiation type deal where they randomly kill somebody because we're getting followed around literally every turn for like 10 minutes. This car is behind us. We look back, it's still there. We stop around this cul-de-sac, almost in the middle of the street, and it stops behind us and it's just sitting there. So we're like, who the fuck is this? So we just look at each other like basically like, this is it type shit. Like it's like, you know, close our eyes. It's like, you know, what's gonna happen, bro. Nothing happened. It drives around. It happens to be this lady Tammy that he happens to know. That knew his dad. He gives her his Bible that he's had for years on his dash. Hugs her, you know. I don't remember the whole convo. Trying to make it as quick as possible. We start driving on the highway. It's 3 a.m. ish. I'm falling asleep in the passenger. Eyes closed. I feel this thing in my stomach, like when you ride on a roller coaster. That feeling or if you're driving really fast in a car, or you like ride up a hill, you get that feeling in your stomach. I look over. He's driving 100 miles an hour, staring at the road. I'm just like, bro, what you doing? He's quiet. I'm in my head. I'm looking out. I'm like, I kind of knew. Like, there's a bunch. Oh yeah, don't ride up. He was talking about like suicidal stuff, like Mac Miller dying on his birthday, or had the same birthday, and these people jumping, this girl artist jumping to her death type stuff. So a bunch of shit started clicking. So I'm looking at the car, 100 miles an hour. I'm looking at the street. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yo, yeah. I'm like, should I jump out? I'm like, should I jump out? And not too soon after that, he says, relax. It's supposed to happen like this. And I just get this calm over me. I don't know, I can't explain it. Maybe 5-10 seconds after that, I wasn't keeping count. 100 miles an hour, he just shifts left into the turnpike. I remember seeing a 35 mile an hour speed limit. So, yeah. Right before we crash, I scream Yahweh. This is why I wear this on my neck. This is why the last haircut I got before my Nazarite vow had the Paleo Hebrew YHWH Yahweh in my head. So it's still technically there, growing around it. Yeah, so right before we crash, I scream Yahweh's name. Time slows. I see this yellowish, pinkish color. I feel like I'm flipping slowly. I remember I don't know. They said the car flipped twice. I just remember time slowing down, and I'm like, it just feels like I'm flipping slow, and I'm saying, not now, not now. Thinking about my mom losing her son, her youngest son already. And then it just feels like I'm in a womb or a bubble type thing. Protected, I guess. And we land. I just remember, before I even knew he was out the car, I just remember seeing a bright light in front of my windshield. I don't know what it is. I just pushed it out. And I did have a 2-inch gash on my head I needed 6 stitches for. It wasn't really nothing though, little baby gash. And, oh no, it was this one. I had you can still see it, right? Remember you asked me what it was? I guess the seat belt, when it came off, all hot, just whoosh. And I did have a mark there for a while. It was like I don't know, I probably still have the pictures. Yeah, it was a burn. When I push it out, I hop on top of the what kind of thing? The hood of the car, jump down, and I see him out the street. He was 6'8", 350, big dude.
Big guy.
Flew out in the street. He was dying. He was reaching out to me, and I'm just going off on him. Yo, what the fuck wrong with you? You tried to kill me. He reaching out like he wanted me to touch his hand. I don't know if it was really him. I don't know if he got in some witchcraft. I don't know if he was taken over, possessed. He got in some shit because that whole week prior he was acting different. People would tell you. I don't know if you spoke. Did you speak to him?
I didn't speak to him, but a couple of people that I know spoke to him on the phone, and he was just saying a bunch of weird stuff like, you know, I love you, right? Like almost like he was saying goodbye.
He said to me too, right before we took off. So, yeah, and he wanted other people to come too, but I don't know what happened with that. And he didn't want to see his family before he left either. Like, he did not want to see them. I remember him saying to his mom, I ain't even gonna say it, but yeah. So yeah, he ends up dying. I ended up getting put in the ambulance. They come within like, I don't even know how fast it was. It had to be within 5 minutes, but it was not that long.
There were witnesses.
There was witnesses that saw it flip twice. I got one on my Facebook still actually. Sat me down, my prayer shawl, which I lost my prayer shawl. The one that I had since 2017, 2018 that had my blood stain on it still. So, yeah. That had blood on it. Went to the hospital. They tell me he ended up dying. So yeah, long story short, I met her through that. She happened to know him from high school, I guess. So I didn't look for her. I was focused on me. I was focused on the Most High. I was focused on music. I was focused on trading. I think I've just started learning about investing. I didn't really start trading until later that year. But I was getting into it. I had my first online store. I made my first sale before this happened. Yeah. Focus on me and the creator. And I wasn't looking for no female. No. They were looking for me.
Well, I wasn't looking.
Well, she wasn't looking either, but so basically that's an example. Like, had I chose any of them women that I was going and dating, choosing to date, like choosing to go on a date with, that was all that, no, good looking, but they were not, you know, bismillah.
They weren't me.
They weren't her. Alhamdulillah, because, and sometimes they still pop up on like who you may know type stuff. I'm like, I'm glad I did not do nothing with them, and I was not bound to them by a vow. So yeah, point being, like Isaac, like a bunch of dudes, The point being, focusing on the creator, focusing on your mission, your purpose, meditating in the field, so to speak, being on your mission, being righteous, fearing the Most High, keeping His commandments, and what it say, the scripture said it, I ain't say it, He will provide you, that will be what provides you a good wife. It's given to a righteous man, and a wicked woman is given to a wicked man. So, that's just proof, really. I'm proof of a lot of things, but I wasn't given a Jezebel through that, you know? That was kind of divine intervention. I had to near-death experience to even meet. So, you know, and I mean, we didn't legally marry, but she been my wife, you know, basically since we met. What was it? A year and a half after that? A year and 4 months.
Yeah.
So she reached out to me.
So initially,
you can take over this point now. I gotta use the bathroom.
So initially, when I heard about our mutual friend that had passed, I had reached out to him via Facebook. I had saw the article online, and I saw his name in the article, so I looked him up on Facebook. I saw our mutual friend on there. I was like, this has to be him. So I reached out. I said, hey, I'm sorry for what happened. Are you okay? Basically just checking on his well-being. I didn't know if he knew anybody in the area because he wasn't from North Carolina. So yeah, I reached out to check on him, and we just kind of built a friendship from there. And yeah, talked over the course of about, like you said, a year and a half or so before we met in person. And yeah. So initially our whole interaction and everything was online before we met in person. Thank you, Sister Leia. Huh. Yeah. Sister Leia said,
So what? Yeah. Barack, back to you. So yeah, I don't know, did you want to touch on the theme? Like,
the theme?
yeah, like anything else? You want to touch on the theme or? Oh, okay. So the question is, that kind of plays into how do you know the Most High chose or sent you your spouse, or you chose? So that was an example.
So basically, I said I wasn't looking either. I was focusing on myself. I had a really bad last relationship myself, very toxic. We won't get into that, but yeah, basically, like during that time, I was just questioning a lot of things, and you know, I was a good partner in my last relationship, and I just questioned a lot of things, like, you know, what am I doing wrong? Why is this person, you know, not reciprocating what I'm giving them? And so after that relationship, I just started focusing on myself and, you know, trying to find my purpose and, you know, not really looking for anything else. I wasn't worried about relationships, finding someone new. There were opportunities, but, you know, I wasn't interested. And it takes a lot more than, you know, an attractive person. It's deeper than that. So as I was focusing on myself, I literally say he crashed into my life, and so along with what I was questioning was I never followed a religion, and I've always had an open mind. You know, I wasn't looking for anything in particular, but I did have like this idea of what my ideal relationship would be like. So when we met, like basically our relationship is everything, like hits everything on point with what I had in mind for my ideal relationship, like to a T. And basically like all of the qualities he has is exactly what I had in mind. I don't go based off of looks, so I mean there wasn't any like, oh, he's got to be 6 foot and a lot of money, like all these women nowadays have these crazy standards. They don't care about the heart, they don't care about the soul. They just care about what a man has. And I have all that. But basically like all of the qualities I had in mind were all of the qualities that he has, and our relationship is everything that I had been praying for and more.
Ooh, she got me up. I knew y'all could see it. Yeah. Yeah. Any trying to think where it goes.
And basically like to go along with the whole religion thing is like I was open-minded, I didn't follow anything specific, but there were coincidences, synchronicities, whatever you want to call it, the signs that I was just receiving before we had met. And so, you know, I was always open-minded and basically building a relationship with the Most High. And basically, us meeting is what gave me that confirmation.
And she was never a Christian, which is a plus. They didn't have to fight no JC, no Yabba Dabba Dooba Shy, sushi sauce, none of that. So,
it's very open-minded.
Alhamdulillah. So yeah. How about y'all?
I know, I kind of want a story time too.
I know, any of y'all, any of y'all got testimonies on your spouse type or anything to input with the topic? Or any insight, wisdom for the people there may be people in here that aren't too good with choosing and maybe they should not choose. Do what Isaac did. Do what I did.
Or like if you're in a relationship right now that's questionable and you're wondering like why, like I'm a good person, I'm faithful, I'm respectful, like I do all this for this person and they're not giving it back, they're probably not for you.
No, they definitely not.
If I could go back in time and slap myself, I would. He ain't for you.
Ain't no good for each other.
He ain't no good for you.
Completely forgot about this WooL.
Yeah.
WooL talk.
Kind of took a little break. Plus it's hot.
Right, wait on y'all. Wait on y'all.
That's right. And the timing is just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you think about it.
What you mean?
Like just in general. Like for anybody who's had the experience of just anything, not just relationships, but just in general. something.
I
It might not be right away either.
mm,
Could be a couple years down the road.
that long. I didn't feel like that long. I've been off some dudes. That's out of the buzz. No, it kept me from a lot of hussies. I'll tell you that. Ain't nobody got no comments, no questions, no Nathan.
Oh, how many?
There was 9 in here at one point.
All five of you.
There was 9 at one point. They ain't say hi. They ain't put no sheep emoji. Look at Leia with the 7 sheep. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, and I was gonna say, isn't it ironic how it was on 7/7 that it happened, the accident,
Yeah, 7/7.
and it's 7 years ago now.
7/7, 7 years ago. So in 2 days it'll be 7 years since that near death. I don't even know what you call it. It would be a suicidal murder attempt, I guess. What you know? I don't know what you call it. Demons try to take me out too. So.
And where you crashed was like one exit away from where I lived.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of weird.
That too.
And I mean, you know, just little things to add. I did happen to wake up like maybe, if I had to guess, maybe 30 to 45 minutes before the report was made. So like I just, you know how you just wake up in the middle of the night for no reason. And I thought about him. I was like, oh yeah, he's probably here by now. And then just went back to sleep, woke up to that news, and
Crazy life, I tell y'all.
Mm-hmm.
All praise to y'all only. Benjamin, Hill, Israel, 2806, Shalom, Mark. That's the advice I'll give you, man. Wait. You gotta wait, but actively wait. Like, don't just wait, but be on your mission, your purpose, serving the Creator, keeping the Torah, keeping His commandments, seeking righteousness and perfection. Even go as far as to pray for one. Be celibate. Practice the semen retention until you get one, to keep you away from, you know, the sap suckers, the hussies, you know. What other words you got? What other words you?
I accidentally said whore.
The Jezebels. You know what I'm saying? You don't want a Jezebel. Yeah, man. Just make sure. If you gotta pray for specific things, to let it know this Most High, this is who Most High wants you with. But you also gotta become who the Most High needs you to be for that person. Also, you gotta remember that. That's one thing I wanted to get in touch with. Most definitely. I appreciate it, Ben. You know what I mean? My brother. What you mean? What do you mean, Liv? My brother. I don't remember seeing him. I don't know. Oh yeah. That's another thing I wanted to get into. The men, we gotta become our best selves. Oh, you gonna hit that light real quick?
Yeah.
So we know about Proverbs 31 women, but there's also Proverbs men. We know about controlling our spirit. A man that conquers his spirit is better than a man that takes over cities. A Proverbs man disciplines himself, knows when to walk away, listens more when he speaks. This is also like in the law of power. But it's all a lot of laws of power in Proverbs. When you're wise, you don't talk too much. You don't always talk. You don't reveal too much. You listen, you analyze before you speak. Sometimes, like, you can, what did it say? A soft word, how can I think today, bro? A soft word basically like disintegrates strife. Basically, like a fire, it can put out a fire basically before it starts. You gotta have the wisdom to know sometimes some things you can't let get too. You can't be too sensitive. One, as a man, you can't be too sensitive. You gotta you gotta command respect, but you don't do it through force. You just gotta walk a certain way. You gotta respect yourself first and foremost. Um, a lot of things you just gotta, cause it's kind of feminine to get too offended at things. You start fighting, and when you really could have just sat and thought just like for 5 seconds, just pause and think about what was said and how you should react or what you should say or you should address it at all. So it'll help a lot of things, a lot of issues. Emotional restraint, fear of Yahweh, of course, correcting others, but you ain't gotta be too harsh when you correct somebody. A lot of dudes in the Israelite community, they got this. Now the man is the head, but a lot of them have this lording over vibration, like they gotta put their foot on their woman neck type stuff. If you got your woman for her to obey you, she fear you out of fear. Like I was talking about earlier, she fear you out of fear of punishment. Then more than she love you, follows you out of love, or her fear is not in love, so to speak. So there's a lot of things us as men gotta do as well. It's what's the word I want to say? Reciprocation, of course. I don't know. I can't remember.
Be patient and understanding
Patience.
with our, because we're women, we're sensitive, emotional.
Knowing. That's why we gotta meditate and pray a lot, and go through Proverbs a lot too for the game on how to move, because patience is a big thing, especially when we're dealing with women on their menstruals. They gonna be
Hormonal.
they gonna be crazy.
I don't say crazy.
A lot of y'all be crazy. So you gotta know that ahead of time. You gotta build your. She might be feeling something that ain't really there, or more exasperated, and something that usually wouldn't trigger her. Now she's triggered with a T, all caps, triggered in a lowercase t. Yeah, and knowing that ahead of time, you gotta build yourself to be able to control your energy, which will make it easier for her to get back in her feminine frame, because you're holding your frame. You're just yelling back and forth and shit like that. Now sometimes they get out of line. There's a guardrail. There's a guardrail where certain disrespects will not be tolerated. You know. But for the most part, especially the longer you're with somebody, the more comfortable you get. You might get annoyed with each other.
Or you might start slacking.
You might get a fupa or a gut, and So, and that's another thing. Remember?
We have a deal.
Our deal. We had a deal. We're gonna, at the way we met, we're gonna stay
that way.
Yeah, we're gonna be the same people. If anything, get better, and even physically stay in shape. We're gonna maintain our shape, because that just shows you take care of you. You respect yourself. You care about yourself, and in turn, you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, you can't really love somebody else properly. So.
And why wouldn't you want to be that same person that the person you're with was initially attracted to? Like, I don't know if I'd be as much attracted to him as if he got fat.
Right, because not only because of that. Well, I'm a little burly right now, so you know, when it gets cold, I'm gonna put on some like 10, 20 more pounds probably.
Max.
But yeah, if I was to let my like
If you were to let
think
yourself
about that.
go, it reflects not caring for yourself as much as in the beginning.
It reflects your mentality, your psychology. It's like, why were you, before y'all met or during the first initial stages of you meeting, and you're trying to, I don't know, they say a lot of times in the first couple months people put on a mask, or they give the representative. So I mean, and plus you're novelty when you first meet. So I mean, that's just natural kind of, you know, y'all not gonna be, you can't be tired of somebody you just met or something. A lot of relationships get you tired of this person. You start learning their habits. They get annoyed. Poop won't flush. Maybe I don't know. Um,
Just always keep it authentic.
yeah. So who you are, just just be who you are anyway. Why would you be this person in the beginning, and then a year later, now you, huh?
That's another thing. Go ahead.
Now a year later, you went from uh well, you went from Batman, and now you're Joker. Well, she attracted to Batman, but you damn Scarecrow and the Joker combined, and Penguin. Now you look like the Penguin, and you know that's one. It makes it look like you were only doing it to gain something, and then once you got it, now you stopped respecting yourself, or you lowered your standards, which really that just shows you did it for somebody else. You didn't even do it for yourself,
right.
Because that should be who you are. What you do, that should be who you are. Like you should. I've always been somebody. I want to stay in shape. I want to exercise. I want to practice martial arts. I want to be my best self. Something you're gonna have periods where you slip. You might hit a plateau. You might burn out. Shit like that. Shit happens, but you always get back on. So really, that's another piece of advice. Don't be somebody you're not. You're gonna attract somebody. Trying to attract somebody that you want with your own lust. Being somebody you're not, and they're gonna find out that's not who you are.
Right.
And then you're just gonna lose them anyway. Why would you wanna? And then why just respecting yourself, respecting the vessel the Most High gave you for one. He gave us the herbs and the fruits and all these clean foods to eat. Why are you not eating them? Why are you not eating them to satiety? Because what was it we just read in that one thing? It's like a wise person eats as much as they need to eat. And there's another verse in Apocrypha. It says excess of meat causes sickness. So why would you want to keep eating like you used to eat healthy? Now you get this girl or this man, and now a year later, 2 years later, 5 years down the line, you're not that same person they met. They was attracted to that.
People just get
They wanted to get with this,
too comfortable.
and you said you can get with that.
I feel like that's a habit for women a lot too. Like they
happy weight.
But they dress themselves up, put on the makeup and everything, and then like once they get in a relationship, they're not dressing up anymore unless they're going out with their girlfriends. But why not make yourself for your man in the house for no reason at all, just because?
Accountability. Facts. Accountability. That's a big thing.
Oh, but that's what I was gonna say when whatever we said at the same time. When basically the first time we even hung out in person, somehow we just managed to say things Like, this is one of those weird coincidences. Like, the exact same thing at the exact same time. We didn't even know each other like that. Like, I've had people, like friends that I've had for years, like we would say something at the same time. That's, you know, that's common, but like, this is somebody that I just met. I don't even know them like that. Don't really know anything about their history or whatever. And we just like, all the time. It wasn't even just like once or twice. It was all the time, saying things at the exact same time, same exact thing.
Yes.
To the point where it was like,
still do it.
we still do it. Yeah, still do it. Or we'll think of something and be like, oh, I was just thinking that. Or I was just about to say that.
Reading your mind.
Yeah.
That's another thing. When they say when you marry, you become one flesh, part of that is the child, because the child is both of y'all. It's one thing, but it's both of y'all. But also, the one flesh, y'all merge, so to speak, and it becomes more about like you, how to say you love your neighbor as yourself. You're supposed to allow your spouse as yourself, basically. You know, make sure they, you know, you gotta be in your best mental space so that you can, if they're not in theirs, you can, you know, uplift them. You know, whatever way necessary that has to be done. Vice versa, it might be you might be needing a certain word or something, or a certain motivational speech, or you might your actions might motivate them to move a certain way. Really, as a man, you really gotta to be the leader and example. How you move really is how your woman most of the time is gonna move. Like if she see you getting up early and going running all the time and working, like she see me every day,
shadow boxing.
You know,
all the time.
Sparring, and you know.
Then
we start
sparring.
We start sparring each other, you know. We start sparring, so she gets her workout in. You know, she be working out and stuff, and we go for runs together sometimes. Spar sometimes.
Or he'll run and then wait for me to catch up.
Or that. So, you know.
You've definitely inspired some things.
Yeah, you gotta inspire each other, really. And one person has this strength, one person has this strength.
Balance.
Try to, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You want somebody that's gonna compliment you and maybe fill some gaps. You know. So yeah, yo, just be more wise, you know. Use the wisdom of the Most High before you lay with somebody, have kids with somebody. You don't want to be raising kids with somebody that's gonna make your life hell. And
tied to them forever.
And you're a man of Torah, or even if you're a woman of Torah, and you have kids with somebody, and it's even worse if they're in they're in a religion. You gotta fight a Christian for your, you know, for what you're trying to feed into your child. So you know you gotta be careful with that shit. Like, nah, you don't want that. You want to make sure, you know, y'all on one accord. They are willing to hear and follow the Torah and not serve no damn Jeebus or what's some other ones? Any idols really. Serve the Creator and keep His commandments. Basically, that's, you know, the Torah. That's what you should be aiming for. You don't want to go through a battle of tug of war you're teaching your kids one thing, and they're seeing another thing in the household was really a Torah based or holy relationship. You're all acting like the wild wild west out there. They ain't, ain't a good look for, they see everything, they hear everything, they absorb everything. So yeah, just be more wise and really, before you choose, make sure the Most High is choosing it. Also, like, make sure He ordains. Pray over it. Have standards and criteria. All the above, Observe the patriarchs. Focus on you. Maybe, be righteous, and he'll give you. It's what it says in the scriptures. Either you believe it or you don't. A good wife is given to him who fears Yahweh, keeps His commandments. That's what it says. So I don't know. I don't really got too much else.
Have high standards, but also be those standards.
Be the standard. Be the example. You can't want this, but you're that. You can't want somebody in shape, and you Biggie Smalls. I'm trying to be funny. Health is an important thing, man. The vessel the Most High gave you. He gave us a certain diet to be healthy, and we gotta be at our best to serve Him at our best. If you're like bedridden, how you put in work for the credit, and you put yourself there, And if you did it with a diet that He does not approve of, that's you're being unclean. You're separating yourself from Him already. You're choosing to, but you can even eat clean and be out of shape. You don't move. You're not respecting the vessel He gave you. You're not using the herbs He gave us. Sirach 38:4 say the Most High made medicines out of the earth, and a wise man will not abhor them. So it even comes to the medicine you're taking. You don't take these pharmaceuticals. Take the herbs. Take whatever. Eat the foods that are required that will heal you, heal any illness you may have. But really, you can prevent a lot of things. Staying in motion, having your blood flowing, getting the air and oxygen, vitamin D. Especially you melanated, you gotta be in the sun a little more. So lack of vitamin D can cause depression, and that depression can cause you to not take care of yourself, your body. You won't even care. So, and it's a never-ending thing. So you gotta feed the soul, your spirit, your ruach, your mind. Nourish your body. Nourish
Each other.
your thing.
Your thing.
Yeah. But if nobody wants to come up and share anything or stuff like that nature, and yeah, man, it's been almost 2 hours again.
Yeah. Got a lot to say.
Yeah, it be flying though.
A lot of good stuff.
It be flying. I did go through some scriptures too. So yeah, y'all. So we gonna. I guess that's all that's gonna tune in the live. I'm sure 100 people's gonna tune in after.
Plus, I'm ready to cook.
Plus, she ready to cook. We hungry and we hot.
Hungry.
It's hot.
Hangry.
And we hangry. So before we go off on y'all, yeah. If you join late, watch the replay. Go through all the scriptures, the examples, the characteristics, the traits. Really ask yourself if you have a spouse. Really meditate on it. Do you think Yahweh sent them, or you chose them? Are they fulfilling their role? Or they bring you further from the Most High? Are they showing you, you know, the characteristics of the patriarchs, the women and the men? Yeah, and you really gotta ask: should you separate yourself from them? Are they a hindrance to your walk? And well, if you're single, you know, actively waiting for the one Most High may have for you. So, and staying on your mission. So yeah, go through the replay, go through all that, get the whole gist of it. I'm not repeating all that again. I'll tell you that right now.
Feel free to ask questions after.
Yeah, if you're
comment.
late, if you're in here, I'll give a couple minutes for any questions or comments, or if anybody has anything to say. But for the most part, they ain't really got too much else to talk on, to speak on, unless y'all got something to chime in on that I can answer. If you got questions that I can answer, or some kind of insight, then you know we're gonna finish this video, finish picking a little more wool, and put something on this stove top. One more time, sheep in the chat. I still need a word for the chat because I don't want to call them chat. I don't like
I
that.
thought you wanted to call them sheep.
Yes, that sounds kind of degrading.
Not woolies.
Woolies. Oh, my woolies. Woolly man.
Flock?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, what up, Fly? Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Alright, everybody dipped. I guess they figured out I'm done. Alright.
Alright, flock.
Any questions, whatever, post some, comment on the video when it's posted. And I can get to that. My email is in my bio. If you want to email personal things, whatever, do it anonymously if you so choose. So, yeah. Praise y'all, y'all alone. All right, Mama Ema. I mean, Mama. I said Mama. Mama, Ema, Leia. All right, praise y'all. All right. How do I end this now? Shalom, Maki.
Maracas.
Barakot. Yeah,
You know what
I know what you meant. How do I end this thing now?
I mean.
Oh yeah. I'm here trying to end the live. I'm here trying to end the live on the on my second phone I'm viewing on. So yeah, y'all. Shalom, shalom. All praise to the Most High, yeah.